You're thinking that I'm the most powerful man in the world, don't you? But you're wrong. I'm just a figurehead. I don't have any control. The real power is in the patriots' hands, the truth behind this country. I'm not surprised you've never heard of them. Very few are aware of their existence, even among those with code word clearance. Politics, the military, the economy, they control it all. They even choose who becomes president. Putting it simply, the patriots rule this country. Hard to believe, isn't it? But it's the truth. The space defense, income tax reduction and the national missile defense programs, every policy that's been credited to me was actually done according to their instructions. You thought that space defense was initiated by Congress. That's what the patriots want the country to believe. It's all a show. Democracy is just a filler for textbooks. Think about it. Do you actually believe that public opinion influences the government? This country is shaped and controlled as the patriots see fit. The people are shown what they want to believe. What you call government is actually a well-staged production aimed at satisfying the public. The patriots. Even I don't know who the actual members are. Are they financial, political or military leaders? No one knows who the patriots really are. Even my instructions come from a cutout. All I've been told is that every key decision is made by a group of 12 men, known as the Wise Men's Committee. All the senators in the White House are merely puppets, pawns in a game. By pledging the patriots my loyalty, an insignificant son of a senator was awarded the presidency. Of course, it wasn't the only price I had to pay. Even if a pawn becomes a queen, it is still just a playing piece. I wanted to leave my own mark in history, but my ambitions were... You'll understand someday. Whether you believe it or not, the balance of power rests in the hands of the patriots. They regulate the country's various interests through controlled presentation, staging a drama that is palatable to the general masses. Can you imagine what would happen if they ceased to function? Picture a massive political vacuum, a space that every powermonger will try to fill with their own greedy ends. I'm talking about an unregulated power struggle, panic, civil wars, chaos. Like it or not, the Patriots is an organization that must continue to exist. I wish to be a member of the Patriots. I wanted to wield the power of a king instead of being an expendable pawn. I had intended to use the new Metal Gear as a bargaining chip, but I underestimated Solidus. He actually wants to challenge the Patriots, even if it means the destruction of the world. When I told Solidus that I wished to prevent disaster, he replied that pawns can never become players. Solidus. He was my predecessor, George Sears. That was the name the public came to know him by. I knew him by his code name, Solidus Snake. He was the third snake, preceded by Solid and Liquid, a survivor of the Les Enfants Terribles project. Neither Solid nor Liquid, he was a well-balanced masterpiece that the Patriots saw fit to entrust with the presidency. However, he fell out of grace with the organization 4 years ago when, acting on his own, he started an incident. Shadow Moses. At a time, the DARPA chief Donald Anderson, together with certain influential parties, initiated the development of Metal Gear Rex and an advanced nuclear warhead. However, this did not fall in line with the Patriots' plans. What's more, Solidus decided on his own to send his most trusted man, Ocelot, to provoke Liquid Snake, bringing about the said incident. As a result, he succeeded in obtaining Rex and the data on the warhead. But in doing so, he ended up revealing the existence of both Rex and the Genome Army, a blunder that earned him the wrath of the Patriots. Shortly thereafter, Solidus was removed from the presidential office. Following his resignation, the Patriots selected me, the new pawn, for the presidency. It was a well-scripted drama staged by the Patriots for the benefit of the public. Even the Democrats and the Republicans were dancing to the Patriots' tune. Everything went according to plan, but for one exception. Following his resignation, Solidus' health was scheduled to fail him, bringing about his untimely death. But before the Patriots could execute their plot, Solidus went underground with the help of Ocelot. As he avoided pursuit, Solidus gained control of Dead Cell, winning over Colonel Golukovich's outfit. From there he bided his time, knowing that his opportunity would soon arrive, the completion of the new Metal Gear project, an opportunity that would even his odds against the Patriots. By stealing the Patriots' most valued project, he would be able to place them in a very uncomfortable position. It's the only chance he has for survival. Once he has the new Metal Gear, he'll declare war against the Patriots. Needless to say, he must be stopped. Metal Gear is not yet operational. What you saw was Metal Gear Ray, hijacked 2 years ago from the Marines by Ocelot. But that was not the new Metal Gear. The new Metal Gear is right here. You're standing in it. To be more precise, this entire big shell facility is the new Metal Gear. The upper structure that you've seen is camouflage, designed to represent an offshore cleanup facility. The main structure extends from the foundation all the way down to the ocean floor. The connecting elevator is located on the B2 floor of the Shell 1 core. Arsenal Gear. That's the code name for the new Metal Gear. Arsenal. We're talking about an impregnable fortress carrying a load of over a couple of thousand missiles, including nuclear warheads, all protected by a horde of mass-produced Metal Gear Ray units. The Ray unit was originally designed for the Marines to be used as a countermeasure against the Metal Gear variation throughout the world. The Patriots had Ray redesigned to protect the new Arsenal Gear. So now anti-Metal Gears are guarding a Metal Gear. Ironic, isn't it? And that's not all. Arsenal Gear has full access to the military's tactical network, giving it the ability to exercise absolute control over our nation's armed forces, not to mention our nuclear armament. In short, Arsenal was created to be the core of our country. But Arsenal Gear is more than just a military tool. It is a means to preserve the world as it is. It will establish a new form of control. The Patriots will use it to keep their place as the country's true rulers. Right now they feel pressured and threatened. They fear an overabundance of digital information. The world will drown in a coming flood of information, and they along with it. The Arsenal plans include a system to digitally manage the flow of information, making it possible to shape the truth for their own purposes. In short, the Arsenal system is the key to their supremacy. The GW system is the Patriots' trump card. Arsenal Gear will be fully operational when GW is successfully integrated. Once operational, it will be a completely new form of power for the Patriots to wield. Arsenal Gear is a massive data processing system capable of controlling information on a global scale. The system is a social device for maintaining the Patriots' control. In this day and age, information emerges from every direction and is freely distributed. A variety of information gathered by servers employing the latest in high-speed communication networks and P2P technology is rapidly circulated to individuals. In fact, the speed of this circulation process is accelerating on an almost daily basis. The Patriots seem to be afraid of this development. Apparently they believe that their role will shift from dominate to dominated. Let me give you an example. You're aware of Solid Snake's anti-Metal Gear activities, aren't you? Well, that's just a small sample of uncontrolled information. I can guarantee you the Patriots did not want Solid Snake's name publicized. Now look at it like this. Political scandal, corporate corruption. Up until now, the Patriots have managed to keep a lid on these and other self-serving events. But with the existing data processing system, they are no longer able to effectively control the flow of information generated at the individual level. With the newly created system, they can fully regulate digital information. High-level information can be categorized in stages, given clearance levels, and deleted as necessary, never to be seen by the public. By deleting such information, the Patriots can shape the course of history as they see fit. The memory capacity, not to mention the lifespan of the average individual, is extremely limited. On the other hand, digital information lasts virtually forever. It doesn't deteriorate. The alphabet, 26 letters, right? It could have been 30 letters. What if the 4 deleted letters were controlled by a program? In fact, something similar is already underway. Do you know how many genes exist in an individual? About 30 to 40,000. That's what was announced at the turn of the century. But there's actually 100,000, according to the original theory advanced by the scientific community. Information regarding the remaining 60,000 was suppressed by the patriots. No? Do you know what a gene looks like? Did you count them yourself? Sure, they are research organizations, and their reports have already been subtly altered. They're even beginning to believe the doctored reports. GW is a system that allows the patriots to decide what will be recorded in tomorrow's history. So what we're talking about is one huge censorship system for deleting information which might be inconvenient to the patriots. The actual physical core for handling the task, GW, is installed in Arsenal. It's the only system in the world with an optic neural AI that has a parallel processing capacity of 980 trillion habits. Arsenal gear was actually designed to protect the GW system. It's armed with everything, including nuclear weapons, and is fully equipped with cyber-terrorist countermeasures. Physically and logically, it's the ultimate fortress for housing GW. But GW is only the system's core. It's only for deciding what data is stored or deleted. The actual subsystem for executing the task exists within our social structure. Do you remember the panic that gripped the computer industry prior to the end of the century? The Y2K problem. If you recall, our government supplied the world with a countermeasure program, using the internet at full capacity. The program was distributed to every governmental organization, every key facility throughout the world. In addition, the same program was included in an OS application for distribution among the public. The Y2K countermeasure contained a program designed by the patriots. And everything supplied from that day onward contains the same program. No? Do you know how a computer operates? Do you really know the basic principles on how data is exchanged? Nobody's aware of it, but there's a subsystem in place, and it's about to be activated. That's why Solidus wants to burn out every electrical circuit in Manhattan with a nuclear blast. But the overall system isn't actually complete. It still lacks the necessary factors for judging situations. I heard they were planning a major experiment in the next few days to provide complex data for GW to study. And suddenly, all this happens. I had hoped to seize the project from them, so that I would be in a strong bargaining position. I'd hoped to trade my way into their ranks. But Solidus preferred rebellion. Outer heaven, his plan to unleash a nuclear blast over the skies of Wall Street to break the Patriots' control over the business community is also a key factor in his offensive effort. Listen, there isn't much time. The football served as the key for activating Arsenal gear. I've already input the necessary code sequence. It won't be long before GW begins to establish connections with other external systems, and Arsenal gear becomes fully operational. Stop them before it happens. That is your role. You've got to find Emma Emmerich. She's the only one who can stop that thing once it's been activated. Cut transmissions and get moving.